Hi, it's Hugh Culver again, and in this video I want to talk about questions. I think it's human nature that we are really quick to see a problem. And that could be a problem with money, financial problem, like we don't have enough money, I'm always feeling broke, or how do I save more money? We could have a problem with people. How do I resolve this issue? How do I deal with this conflict? How do I deal with this irritation? We have a problem maybe with too much workload. We have a problem with our weight or our health. We have a problem with the kids and stress and family and clutter. So it's human nature, I think, to see a problem and then to become fixated on that problem. And I really believe, and I think this applies to all aspects of life and work, is that our focus equals our future. So that when we start focusing on that problem, like, oh man, that person really irritates me, or gee, I wish I had more time, or I wish that when I got home I had more energy so that I would actually do something that would make me feel better rather than sitting in front of YouTube videos all night long. So when we fixate on that, our focus starts to equal our future, because what starts to happen is we see more examples of where we're not getting what we want. It's like desiring a car. You've got this car in mind, you really want this specific car, or this furniture for your house, or these pair of shoes, or this vacation. You start seeing examples of that everywhere, in advertising, in cars on the street, and in stores as you walk by them on the sidewalk. So our focus equals our future. So, well, how does this help us? Well, what it helps us to understand is, how do we get out of this sort of cycle of negative thinking? Because I'm sure, it's safe to say you would agree that it's not going to help us if we keep thinking the same thoughts if we're not getting new results. Like, it doesn't really help me to keep saying, wow, that person really irritates me, or I wish my boss was, a better listener. It's not going to help us if that thought didn't get us the results we wanted in the first place. So, how can we use this idea of focus equals future to our advantage? Well, I think that what we need to do is we need to stop this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy that we've started, where we keep seeing what we don't want, which makes us want it even more. For me, I used to say, I am so busy all the time. I am so busy. In fact, I used to think that this was something that I should be proud of, because I used to think that busy equaled success. And that the more busy I was, well, then I guess the more successful I am. It's crazy. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but at that time in my life, I thought that that's sort of like the badge of successful people, is that they are busy all the time, working on things, obsessed with their career and their business. And what I came to understand is that I don't want to be busy. First of all, it doesn't feel good, but it's completely ineffective. Being busy is just really an excuse for not really getting serious about working smarter. So how do I get out of that cycle? Well, the secret is, and what I want to share with you on this video, the secret is to ask one specific question. And that question, as simple as it sounds, so that question can be the trigger you need to stop this cycle of negative thinking. So here's the question you need to ask. What is one thing? The question is, what is one thing? So let me give you an example. If I've got a habit of saying, I am so busy, or I don't have enough time, or I wish I was more organized, or I wish I wasn't such a procrastinator, what I need to do is I need to ask the magic question. So what's one thing? So what's one thing that I could do right now that would give me better results? Pretty simple. So if I go home and my intention is to do something good for myself, like to get some exercise, like go for a walk, take the dog for a run, or go to the gym, or go to my yoga class, but I don't really feel like it. Like, I feel like my energy is dragging, and I don't really feel like I've got that motivation that I need. So I know that if I don't do something, I won't feel good. So I need to ask the magic question. So what's one thing? So what's one thing I can do right now? Well, one thing I could do right now is to get changed into my workout gear. At least get changed into my workout gear, so that I'm now in the headspace of going for a workout. I could, instead of going for a half hour, I could go for 10 minutes. Instead of going for a run, I could go for a brisk walk. So what's one thing I can do right now that's going to make me feel better? The same thing applies to me being so busy. Well, rather than saying, I wish I wasn't so busy, or why am I so busy, which are unproductive statements and questions, I can ask the magic question. So what's one thing I can do right now so I don't feel so busy? Well, first thing I could do is get all these notes and sticky notes, and I could spend a few minutes and get them into one clear list. And then I could divide that list into categories. The categories which could be long-term, action plan, which is by Friday, and then what I need to get done today. Or I could take my long-term and I could divide that into subcategories. So what is it that this relates to in terms of finances, in terms of family, in terms of research, in terms of a team that I'm working on, in terms of a project for work, in terms of whatever. So that's one thing that I could do right now. Now, it's not going to solve all my problems. It's not going to get everything done. But it's going to make me feel like I am being successful. And here's the new loop. Whereas the old loop was, I focus on what's not working, the new loop is, I focus on what is working. So if focus equals future, what I want to do is I want to focus on something that's going to create the best possible future for me. So there you go. The magic question. What is one thing that I could do, that I could think, that I could say, that I could stop doing, that I could change? What is one thing? And I think what that great question does is it helps us to narrow down to making a decision. So if you think you're a procrastinator, or you think that there's something that drives you crazy in your life that you'd love to change, if you think that there's something that someone does all the time that irritates you, if you think that there's something that you would like to create in your life that you're not creating right now, just ask that question. So what's one thing I can do right now? I think you're going to find that it's surprisingly simple, and it's a great little tool to pull out of your pocket whenever you get yourself stuck. So I hope that that's really useful, and we will see you again soon. Thanks a lot for watching.